Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Retzkin. Retzkin, EyeControl's CEO and co-founder, lost his grandmother, Julie, to ALS. The sadness and frustration experienced from a loved one losing their ability to communicate gave him a deep understanding of an existing problem and a clear vision for an innovative solution. EyeControl was established in 2016 by co-founders who all have personal connections to locked-in individuals. Joined together with Itai Kornberg, CTO and co-founder, and Shay Rashoni, co-founder and ALS patient, on a mission to give the locked-in community the ability to communicate. Is a member of the 8400 Health Tech Leadership Program and was an awardee of the 2021 Perez Heritage Initiative. He holds a joint BSc degree in physics and accounting from Tel Aviv University and went on to graduate with an additional MSc in finance. Well, good afternoon, or welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for hosting me.
Absolutely. Really excited today because I get to chat with somebody across the ocean, very far away. You're hailing out of the great country of Israel. So I appreciate your time today and making the time work. Obviously, time zones are very challenging, but anyway, let's jump right into these questions. Or I wanted to ask you a few things to kind of get your story out there. You've got quite the career background in healthcare. You're an entrepreneur, advisor, and currently you're the co-founder and CEO of EyeControl. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Sure. So my background is actually not coming from the healthcare fields. My background is from the fields of physics and finance. The way I got into the healthcare space is actually from a volunteering activity we started at one of the Israeli NGOs for ALS patients. My grandmother, my mom's mom, passed away from ALS. So that was actually the way I found myself in the field of healthcare. When we started EyeControl, we started in a way to find a solution or to find a communication solution for ALS patients in the field of assistive technology. And this solution actually grew and expanded into a communication solution in critical care units in hospitals. And very naturally, it led to me to be involved in the field of, in the space of healthcare. To me, what I find inspiring and interesting is, I think the way and the opportunity to do the combination of technology and healthcare together is definitely an amazing space. You get to impact the lives of people. You get to impact the lives of people that sometimes you don't even meet, and you get to hear their stories, or you get to get a feedback from them by phones, by WhatsApps, by emails. And one of the beautiful things in the specific field that we are in, the communication, is that if we are in this interaction, we could see the impact right away, because providing the voice and the capability to communicate for a ventilated patient, you could see the impact right away. You can see the impact on the faces. You can see the impact on the people around them. And you can see the clinical impact as well.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And like you, I had the opportunity to work in healthcare as well on the technology side, and seen so many amazing stories that come out, and the passion that people have to help others is amazing. And I totally appreciate what you're doing. So thank you. Or tell us a bit more about your eye tracking wearable and smart platform that empowers communication between patients who cannot speak, their families, and medical teams.
Sure. So the idea and the motivation to develop the solution came from the understanding that communication solutions for patients that either are locked in or ventilated were based on computers. Meaning that at the end of the day, the patient had or have to control the computer, whether if it's by eye movements or other ways. And that has it has a lot of course, impact, and it has the benefit of it. But at the end of the day, controlling a computer has limitations. Whether the patient wakes up at night, not calibrated to a computer, inside situations where basically the patient is not in front of the screen of the computer, and that can happen quite often. The idea was to create a wearable solution, and by enabling the wearability factor, enabling 24/7 communication. And that's the key element in the EyeControl device, that it's a wearable solution. The headset sits on the patient's head, and there is no screen. There is an audio feedback from a bone conduction instead of the visual feedback of a screen. So envision that the patient is navigating with eye movements that the camera reads through audio menus in the language of the patient. And by choosing the relevant input, the device will communicate either through the speaker or to any Bluetooth Wi-Fi connected devices. So that's the key element behind the platform itself and the device. This EyeControl solution was developed originally for outpatients, and then we expanded the solution to be the EyeControl Med inside hospitals, inside critical care settings, adding a platform to those headsets. And then we are enabling a bidirectional communication from the headset to the dashboard and vice versa, so that the patient will be able to communicate directly to the nurse station, and the nurse station can send messages to the headset. And this way, by enabling this two-way communication, we're enabling the patient to, of course, communicate, but also to be better oriented, to be more relaxed, to know what's the time where they are, and to hear their family member as well. And those are the main factors we work on today, in parallel to clinical trials that we are running in order to demonstrate the benefit of this communication and this interaction factor on the cognitive and mental status of the patient.
Thank you. And I really do appreciate you stepping through some of the technology there and how it actually works. This is a huge leap for those people that obviously can't speak, right? This is just awesome. And that's what really gets me excited about these podcasts, is I get to hear some of the emerging innovations and technologies that people like you are bringing to light to help the world be a better place. So thank you again, Or.
Thank you. And just a quick comment. The idea here is that if you think about, first, everyone knows an ALS or stroke patients in the original core development that we had, and you get to understand how much it could contribute for communication for those patients. And I also appreciate what you were saying, because communication has a lot of impact that it could do, especially for someone who cannot speak, but also inside critical care settings. At the end of the day, hopefully none of us will get this personal experience, but life brings sometimes those situations that we either see it ourselves or for someone who is close to us. And the idea that solutions like EyeControl, not necessarily but solutions like EyeControl, the capability to be able to communicate even for a few days, not even for a lifetime solution, but even for a few days, the capability to close this gap of communication in critical care settings where everything is already very stressful and environment with an unfamiliar environment. So this solution it could be relevant for everyone at the end of the day in those settings of critical care that people can find themselves there unfortunately for a few days or a bit more.
Thank you. And you're absolutely right. The communication is so key with people with these types of diseases. So thank you again for all the work that you're doing. And we're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies, right? You talked a little bit about it, but is there anything you might be able to share with us today specifically around the technology without giving away any proprietary secrets you have, obviously?
Sure. So maybe I'll start this one again. Of course, we have the company, we build the company we are a communication platform company, and we are providing different solutions inside this space. And we're creating a pipeline of potential products all the time to keep the capabilities and to keep the best way we could support the need of communication, focusing on inpatient, patient these days, and obviously we started from the outpatient need for communication. One of the coming things that we work on, where is definitely and exciting, is the idea and the area inside those clinical trials that we're running to demonstrate how communication can impact and how can it assist in those scenarios when we provide better orientation, communication, interaction with the patient on a scheduled basis to make it a standard of care for the patient, and how can it impact the cognitive status of the patient? How can it impact as well of the patient's experience in those settings? And of course, how can it impact the staff and family members? That at the end of the day, this triangle of family, patient, staff is a key factor for recovery of a patient, especially in those traumatic days inside critical care settings. And it's one of the main factors that we're working on these days, and we're seeing the impact and the results that it could have, and the potentially this important field of non-pharma solutions of interaction with the patients. This is definitely one of the things we work now on these days in the pipeline of the company, and there's few additional products in the pipeline as well that it will be more difficult to share these days, but probably we will expose them very soon.
Thank you again. And again, diving in to some of these things is very helpful for our audience to understand what you're doing again. So, last question. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in tech or entrepreneurship?
I think one of the key elements and one of the key, I would say, maybe it's not milestones, but it's key factors to provide a better way of going and learning in this field of entrepreneurship in general, and especially in the field of healthcare, is that there is a lot of an existing experience already in the ecosystem, and the capability to be connected to already people that have done it before. I think one of the most important things is for us as a company was to get in early stages investors or advisory board members that brought a lot from their experience into the company. And a specific element or moments that we have, I would say, one of the beautiful things as a company that we have is the relationship with the NGO. As we grew from a mutual activity with the NGO, as like I've explained earlier. All of the founders, we are all related to locked-in patients or ALS patients in our origins, and the idea that bringing together with the NGO the solution and establishing the company, having the NGO as involved in this process as shareholders at the company is a unique element that we have. And today the company is going, even if it's not a meaningful shares in a company like us, it's already an important asset for the NGO. And as we grow the activity of the company, knowing that the success of a company like us at the end of the day will go back to research in ALS or finding a cure, or that has a lot of impact on all of the team members, on especially us, the founders. So this is something we carry it with us through this journey and in this career experience that we have at EyeControl as well, which is unique and provided us a lot of definitely a lot of motivation through this way. And for other entrepreneurs or people that are thinking about establishing new companies, I can say as well that the idea of working with NGOs in the fields like us, like our fields, could do such great things because, like in our case, you could create relationships that will be meaningful for the company. You can learn about the product. You can learn about the need of the product. You can work with the NGO very closely. And on the other hand, thinking about what could be the outcome of this relationship can have a double meaning impact, not only by product, by success of the company as well.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate the share. There's some great nuggets here that you shared with our audience today. And I hope that all the entrepreneurs out there certainly take this to heart. I appreciate the culture that you're also building there at EyeControl. So thank you. And Or, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you, Brian. I've enjoyed very much, and thank you for having me.
Bye for now.